All right, so I went to see The Little Mermaid, and it was a very interesting experience. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? I'm about to get up and go see Hallie in The Little Mermaid. This has been a highly anticipated movie in my house. And I don't have any fantastic fanfare. Probably just a hoodie and some shorts. I'm not going all out. Oh wait, I have a Little Mermaid. I have a Little Mermaid T-shirt from the animated movie. I might. Your boy is hot. But I'm excited. I always enjoyed this movie. I can't even say it's just like for the music or the art. I think it's the whole package of the nostalgia. Came out when I was a kid, had it on VHS. You know, Disney scammed us all by throwing stuff in the vault and then bringing it back out years later. So whatever. I am truly excited to see this movie. If you can't tell by any of my recent posts or posts leading up to this. And I caught some spoilers, but I truly don't care. Like, I'm still going to enjoy it. Could not wear the Little Mermaid shirt like I wanted to. It just did not mesh well, but I don't know. I'm definitely going to get me a Hallie Little Mermaid shirt now. And if this movie theater is smart, they're going to have some merchandise at the theater. So
Don't prove me wrong, prove you right.
I'm hoping some good musical numbers. The one thing that I know is going to creep me out is those are the animals. Sebastian and Flounder look terrifying as hell, and I've been saying this since the first images dropped. But that aside, I'm hoping that the lighting is much better, because it was very dark in the clips that were released online. The Kiss the Girl scene that I posted, it was dark. But then again, I'm like, I got 4 eyes, so maybe it's some sort of like, how about you get your eyes fixed, nerd type situation that is preventing me from enjoying it. But no, I'm truly just open to whatever they give me. I do hope that there are some variations from the cartoon, from the animated movie. It would be nice to get that same story, just, you know, altered a bit.
Turn right onto West Parker Road.
Okay, relax. It would be nice to see that kind of altered a bit, so I'm looking forward to that. And if not, whatever. I'm just in for a good time. I want to see niece Hallie cutting it up, and you know, that's it.
Don't prove me wrong, prove you right. My word is bond, we don't spit no lies. A daughter of the sunshine, but every blue moon I come alive at night. I like lace and I like braids, but I love my natural. Edges laid from the east side, building on the west coast. My high tolerance for pain don't mean I'ma take your
Bruh, that, y'all, The Little Mermaid 2023. That was a good movie. All right. So we know this movie was getting hate all around, getting love all around. And that's such a funny thing when it comes to nerds and purists and folks who just swear up and down things need to be the way they've always been. Movies like this make me laugh. It makes me laugh at that idea, because for whatever reason, diversity and inclusion is this big hot ticket item that gets folks hot under their collar unnecessarily. This was a good movie. To even have the reactions from the homeboy who played Aladdin and the comments that he made prior to this movie even being released, it's like, bruh, what? what is going on? What demons are you fighting that the mere thought of some sort of inclusion is blowing your mind? Real quick, there was and I forget the image, there was a Little Mermaid, I think it was a stage play, or no, it was an animated Little Mermaid with brown hair and like a frog that looked like a Finding Nemo frog. And I remember the comments surrounding that being like, oh, this is so beautiful, it looks better than that live action Disney woke garbage. We all know about the buzzwords, and why? So a lot of comments underneath those posts were saying, again, y'all saying the quiet part out loud, you're making sure that we know that it was never about the red hair. All that being said, and all that to the side, this was a good movie. I'm going to make a comparison to Aladdin, and it's not to down the Aladdin movie, it's not to do a Marvel DC war type situation, but I think where this movie excelled, it excelled in ways that Aladdin did not and Aladdin could have. I feel like Aladdin gave you beat for beat the same story. There were minor changes and tweaks to it, such as Genie's family, like spoilers if you haven't seen the Aladdin from 2019. But with this movie, and again, spoilers clearly for Little Mermaid, what this movie did was take different parts of the Little Mermaid, tell the same story, but take out some things and add something. Like, how do I explain? Like, they did a really good job. Like, the addition of the Queen was phenomenal. The Seven Sisters, they took out that opening musical number, which kind of hurt my heart, but replacing it with the just the Seven Daughters of the Seven Seas, and have them incorporated a bit more in a way that, though they were not on screen as much as Ariel, they were more distinct in this version than they had been in the cartoon. I like the agency that Ariel had and the way that she took charge of her own life, her own destiny, like the things that happened. Two very big pivotal moments at the end of the animated movie where it was someone else taking action, which I'll just say it, killing Ursula and getting her voice back. Those were things that she did. She put those in motion in this movie, and I thought that was so great. One thing that I cackled at was the scene of Ariel getting her voice back, but then turning into a mermaid. Now in the cartoon, it was like, all right, this is just what happened, but I know those people had to be terrified. Another thing that I thoroughly enjoyed about this is the lore. This is where I think they did a great job, where Aladdin could have gone the extra mile. In this reimagining, reboot, whatever, the actual lore of the mermaids is fleshed out a bit better. Ariel being a siren is something that I guess you could have assumed from the cartoon, but to have that actually be her distinction was like wild. Now they never said, I think they mentioned a siren song, but it was very clear that she was a siren. Making Ursula her aunt, Triton's sister, was also a very interesting choice, especially because we have a sister of Ursula in the animated universe, where she's a much slimmer version with wild hair. And I wonder if maybe she'll pop up if we do a part 2. Triton and his abilities were essentially the same, but having Ursula the Sea Witch be an actual witch, and having Ariel and her sisters and them be sirens and have this very particular physiology, magical ability within them that allows them, one, to like breathe underwater, to control people with their voice. There's this whole mythology around them in continuity, which I thought was so interesting, but that focusing on them being sirens and having particular abilities for being mermaids is something that I was like, makes so much sense. Though it may be obvious, to me that's such a pivotal, important thing, because if Ursula is her aunt, is Triton's sister, and mermaids have these particular abilities. I don't know what the genetic makeup of mating with different sea creatures is, but Ursula is clearly a octopus hybrid person. her having these witchy abilities, Triton and his Triton having these mer people abilities, but her being focused on being a sea witch, to me read like, and I could be thinking too deep into it, but that's like this magical mystical lineage. We know that Triton is essentially Poseidon, and we got Hercules and Frozen and all that good. We got all of that lore, but like specifically this, I thought that was interesting because in the animated series or the animated cartoon, it was just these are mer people, this is the sea witch, she bad, they good, this is the story we're going on. But with the culture and nature of like reboots and extended universes and things crossing over and timelines and this and that, I would not be surprised if we get some sort of maybe prequel or some sort of second installment that doesn't follow whatever Little Mermaid stuff came in the animated world. We're getting a much richer lore kind of built into this new version, and I like that. Again, with Aladdin, not to like downplay it, because I enjoyed Aladdin. It was an okay movie. It was a pretty movie, I'll say that. Aladdin didn't go that extra mile, and I have to look at the creative team behind The Little Mermaid to see like who's where, because there is clearly some influence that I don't know. It was just such a good film. Some of my concerns was that it was going to be like extremely dark, and it was. But what I will say is, as opposed to like Wonder Woman's second movie, what was it, Wonder Woman 89 or whatever, 84, that movie was dark as heck for just this. It was just extremely dark. The scenes in this that were dark, for me, I think were better excused because one, we're under the sea. Literally, quite literally under the sea. And in some of those moments, though it was a little difficult to see, I feel like that dark aesthetic lended itself well to this film. The other concern I had was with Sebastian and Flounder about their look. It was like, this is jarring coming from the animated series. And I was vocal about them looking crazy, looking Uncanny Valley, looking like nightmare fuel. But truthfully, watching this was not a problem. Like that initial, ooh, what are they doing, was there. But like after you're like 10, 15 minutes into the film, all of that goes away. Because even with, it's just, bruh, I enjoyed it. Sorry, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy the sisters. I know some of the critiques were about the like CGI mermaids underwater versus above land and whatever else, and I can see there being an argument for that, and I'm not even gonna knock you if you hate the movie or if that's an issue for you, but to be quite honest, it didn't bother me. And there were times where I was like, oh, that look, wait, I could see there's something going on there, but it's also like, it's a movie, it's a live action version of an underwater film. Like, how perfect do you expect this to be, even in 2023? Like, come on, y'all. But that being said, I enjoyed the movie. I don't think anything was wasted. I think everyone really pulled their weight. And I'll say this as somebody who's not nowhere near a stan, admirer of that girl who shall not be named. Even her role in this, she did a pretty good job. The little rapping part, like Lin-Manuel, that one boy. You could see the influence there. I think every song was like really good, and I did like the original songs that were included. Eric's, when he was like at the castle, like longing for this girl that he lost, that was a damn good song. Then there's a few that Ariel sings that I was just like, I got freaking chills. Even the Part of Your World, goosebumps. Me and these two white girls were sitting next to each other. I went by myself, and I got like the last seat that was like at the end, and it wasn't a weird situation, but it was just like, oh, you by yourself. Normally there'd be a few seats in between you. Man, me and them chicks was cracking the fuck up. Like, it was a good movie, and it was almost like, though it was a lot of kids in there, we were the only, I'm sure we weren't, but like we were the only adults who were like by ourselves. And like there were certain scenes. There's one scene at the end where in the animated movie, is where Triton and the family are out at sea and they're giving their blessing. But in this version, It was a freaking jump scare. When I tell you, train just popped up, like the way they cut to him was so odd. It really took me back. We was cracking up at that. There was a few other things in there that I was like, I had a good time. Me and them chicks had a very good time. Dang, there was so much. It was such a good film. I do think that if you like The Little Mermaid from before, I say give it a shot. I think it does a better job than the Lion King live action. And I say that because I know a lot of the critiques of the Lion King live action is that they're animals and there's not a lot of emoting that they can do. Is more or less the voices carrying the movie, which rightfully so. But in this, because you do get that mix of CGI, of people, of animals, of like kind of newness, like with the Queen and other things to kind of not necessarily distract you, but like where you think you could just sit back and just watch it on autopilot. There's things that pull you in that were different from the original. And so I just think it lends itself better to the CGI element. So if you are concerned about the CGI and about the animals and them looking weird, in my opinion, I thought it was okay. You still may hate it, but I would say give it a shot. The movie was packed. I, being silly, did not buy my ticket ahead of time. What was I thinking? I was like, oh yeah, I'll just go and I'll get the ticket there. Of course there'll be seats. No, silly. There was like 4 seats left. There was one at the very top that I went to get. And as soon as I logged on to select that seat, it was gone. So I was so mad, but the movie was good. I enjoyed pretty much every moment of it. The songs were great. And I was trying to figure out, and you guys let me know if you know, where is this movie set? And not necessarily from like a cartoon version, but this one, it felt like it was in the Caribbean. But I know, I'm going to assume it's not, but it had a lot of like Caribbean elements to it. Like there's a lot. So some of the scenes that were switched out, like the dinner scene was switched out for something else. I don't want to spoil too much. Because honestly, it was good. I'll stop with the spoil. Whatever, I won't be spoiling anything else going forward. There was a lot of color, a lot of music, a lot of sound, and this was a very diverse film, and not diverse like check off the boxes and get these different people in. It was diverse in the sense that like there were so many different types of people in this film, and it all worked. You never felt like, at least for me, oh, they just got this black person here and this Asian person there and this white girl there. Like it was really a well thought out reboot or remake, whatever it is going for. I think that it was done really well. And I'm sure if I sit and think about it long enough, there's some things I can pull out that were like bad, negative, not done so well. But really off my initial watch, I got chills with the music. I enjoyed, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful movie. The changes that were made sense. And it was a solid story, one that we already know, but I think it was done in a fresh way. I'm trying to think, what is another, like Bel Air. Bel Air is a great reimagining of The Fresh Prince from the 90s. Season 1, anyways. But I think this movie does that. It does what Bel Air did. You took an already existing property, you brought the story over, and though it's a series so you have more to play with, they still fine-tuned it enough to be a 2022, 2023 reboot of a show, and it just works. And I think that's what was done here. So I would say, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and give it a watch, give it a shout, give it a look-see. And just let me know, what do you think? Like, if you've seen it already, what's up? What's your thoughts? Even if you disagree with everything I said, you're like, this movie sucks, let me know. That's fine. But if you enjoyed it like me, yeah, let me know as well. Put some like mermaid emojis in the comments or something. All in all, I want to go see it again. I want to go see it again. I will more than likely go see it again. And I think you guys should see it too. And so that's that. I'll probably do another something related to Little Mermaid, some other little video thoughts, whatever comes to me. But honestly, it was really good. I think you guys will like it. And all that being said, I am Rain Coleman, the Carefree Black Nerd. Catch me here on YouTube, catch me on TikTok, catch me on Twitter, all the links in the show notes. And give me a shout. Stay carefree, stay nerdy, stay geeky. And if you, for whatever reason, feel as if you want to live on the surface world, to be with this man/prince who you just met, do it. Don't let your daddy stop you. Do it. Do it.